put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. As I mentioned, it's Monday, 3rd June. And so we're so happy that you're here with us in this new month. We start off conversations this morning in studio. We're speaking with Senior Superintendent Rohdill Kirk of the TTPS as he brings a weekly crime update and, of course, to speak on a specific topic of situational awareness and safety. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Adanna. Good morning to your viewers throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
Right, it's always a pleasure having you in studio. When we have conversations, we get information and advice, as to how to keep ourselves safe and, of course, keeping us aware as to what is happening in Tobago as it relates to crime, bringing results in terms of finding criminals and, the status of things on the island. So you just bring us up to speed as to where we are as it relates to that aspect of it.
So we had a very long weekend, as we say, and, there were many activities that took place in the Tobago space. But what I would like, whilst you all were enjoying yourself, the police was still out working, and you can see that the amount of the initiatives we implemented, we have additional patrols, additional boots on the ground. What I am here to report is that some of the incidents which took place in the past, we often forget it, but there was a shooting that took place on the 2nd of May at Turtle Beach where a man was found with gunshot wounds. We are pleased to report that right now we have a suspect in custody to be charged, right, for that one. Also on the 26th of May, we had a robbery at the car wash at Lowlands Mall, we call it a Scoops. We have a suspect who is due to appear in court today for that robbery. There was another robbery that took place at the Burger Cart at Montgomery. A 19-year-old suspect is to appear in court today as well. And there was one in Argyle on the 30th of May. We have suspects in custody who are due to be charged as well. So these are the positives that came out of all of these incidents. We are seeing a rise in these robberies, and it has been perpetrated by persons within our own space. What I want to say at this stage, we have been out doing our community engagements with our stakeholders, our town meetings, our community walkabouts, and it's bearing fruit. I want to thank the Tobago public for cooperating with the police. They continue to do that, and this is the fruits of that engagement we are seeing. People are reaching out and talking to the police, and we are able to bring some of these perpetrators to justice. So I want to thank the Tobago public this morning.
Absolutely awesome. We're happy, always happy to hear when, someone has been apprehended for committing disturbance, because at the end of the day, really disturbing the peace and the people who reside here. So we're happy to know that that has happened, and we're hoping, to get more stories like this as it relates to things that have happened in the past as well. And thank you so much for reminding us of things that happened that we might have forgotten, and just to know that these people have been apprehended and they'll be before the court of law. So now we're talking about situational awareness and safety, right? I suppose the theme suggests that, of course, bringing some measure of alertness, so
Exactly.
We want to get into that conversation this morning. And I know we speak about this very often on the show, reminding our viewers, to be alert, to be aware of the environment. But we want to get into that conversation again this morning,
Yes,
because we're seeing what is happening around us.
I can't be too tired to remind people that, time has changed and you have to become more aware of where you are. So it's for you to take steps for your personal safety. When you leave, make sure that you have that awareness as to what is around you. You know that, especially early in the morning, you are seeing people on the road. Sometimes you may want to stop if you're driving a motor vehicle. Be careful. Do not stop for anyone that you do not know. Again, when you are in certain areas, do not park in areas for a long period of time. Just, people used to go by the park and just park up and so on. If you do, ensure that you have your security measures in place, like your vehicle doors and windows locked. Don't stay there for long periods. If you are coming out of your vehicle, do not leave the key in the ignition. And if you are going to the bank, etc., always either have somebody accompany you, or do not when you are coming from the bank, make sure that you don't have any envelopes or all these things exposed, because people are watching you. And this is what we call situational awareness. Wherever you are in the environment, be careful, just look around. We are not asking people to be panicked, but we are just asking, taking into consideration that these robberies are in the increase. You are going to close your business place at a certain time. You know that you don't have the security measures in place. You can simply communicate with the police, and our patrols will pass by. So these are the things that you need to take note of, because we are seeing it happening so easily in Tobago. You see a person, somebody will call you to go a particular place at a particular time in the night. And, be aware. If you don't need to go, don't go. Except it's a case of emergency, etc. Because we are seeing that. People are luring you out of your home, calling you to tell you, well, something is by this place, or I have something here to give you, and so on and so on. Why the person couldn't come to you? So, and we are seeing these offenses are being committed by persons who are close to one another as well. So we don't know, in Tobago, the paradigm has shifted. We are seeing people, I don't know if they're just being idle or they just want to follow the crowd, but we are seeing young people more so getting involved in these kind of illicit activities, and they are going wrong to business places, looking at the soft target, and then they're making the attack on these places. And we have to be mindful. Business owners have to be mindful as well. When you are closing at a particular hour and you are seeing people suspicious around, you can simply communicate with the police. We will pass by, right? Because I'm proud to say that we have some additional boots on the ground. We have some new persons joining us as of today. We are going to make full use of them. And our aim is to continue to make this space safe throughout Tobago. We have heard your cries, and we are doing our best to make sure that this island is adequately policed.
You're mentioning that there are new boots on the ground and there's a new team of people joining you all today. Is this in reference to the team that the Chief Secretary spoke about in terms of the THA policing, or is this TTPS staff?
No, this is TTPS staff. Right. As you know, you have seen we have the IATF, we have the GB. Some more are joining us today. However, we have some additional resources coming straight from the academy. They are out with us. So from today, they are going to be posted on the Nation Street in Tobago. And, we are happy for that. We are happy that the Commissioner has heard our call in terms of resources, and we are going to utilize them wisely. So just to put that out in the public space that, we will want to police the island in such a way that to make people feel that safety and security that the police is there. So we are going to do that, and this is what we are about.
And you also mentioned, especially for business owners, when they're closing up shop and they're packing up, if they feel unsafe or they don't have bodyguard, security officers to ensure their safety of their premises and, the items, they can call on you and you will do a drive-by, just to ensure.
We will do that.
Additionally, you also made a reference to people going to the bank and withdrawing. So, sometimes you have to withdraw large sums of money and walking with it. Not only, sometimes you might be exercising all the cautions. Yeah. You might put your envelope in your bag and you're walking safely, but there might be somebody, because these criminals.
We know how they operate.
They stand guard at these places. And so they might be following you. Tell me, if I feel as if I'm being followed, I just came from the bank and I withdrew a large sum of money. Somebody was eyeing me and I feel as if I'm being followed from the bank. If I call the police and I say, listen, I just came from the bank, this happened, and I feel like if I'm being tailed, how soon can I feel confident that a member of the TTPS or whomever will take my call seriously?
I am saying that it will, and especially if you call me, right? That is something that I will initiate, and it's not something that is unusual, because I often get these calls. So it's not something that is unusual, and I'm just urging people, you have to take back your space. You have to be aware, right? Tobago is still considered one of the safest places throughout Trinidad and Tobago, notwithstanding that we have these little incidents occurring. And I know that where these incidents are occurring, there are people who often witness it. We often call upon people, and I know that I assure you that you pass your information on to me, it will be acted upon, right? So this is what we want to encourage, because when something happens in Tobago, it's publicized more in the international space. And we know that. We know that our economy is driven on tourism, and we want to keep this place safe so that visitors, locals alike, could enjoy it. So this is what we are about. And you know, I'm thankful that people are buying in, you know, and I hope that this relationship improving going forward, you know, as we police the island on a daily basis.
And I do hope the relationship maintains as well, because as I said, it affects all of us. And so I'm happy that the communities across Tobago are coming together to join with the TTPS to ensure, you know, as you usually say when you come here, if you see something, say something.
Yes, of course.
And so it has been working. So congratulations to the communities across Tobago for assisting the police. And, you know, the encouragement is for you to continue so doing. And in wrapping this morning, Senior Soup, is there anything else you want to share with us as it relates to situational awareness, being alert in your environment to ensure and to protect your safety?
Yes, because again, we all live in communities, and I would have said in one of my town meetings that we are seeing persons popping up in these communities, whether it be they are tenants of persons. We as landlords in these areas have to be mindful that when we are leasing places to tenants, let us get the correct and proper information. Because what we recognize that some people embed themselves in some communities easily and easygoing, and then after, you will see the real person come out. So I'm saying again to our landlords, this is Tobago, we can manage the island. When persons come to, you know, and they come with a level of urgency, they want a place to stay, etc., make sure and get the proper information. And what you can even do, communicate with the police so that we could actually, you know, pass the names through the system to see if there's anything attached. We don't want to discriminate against people, but we want you to be aware so that in the event of anything, you don't know, you don't have to look too far. So this is one of the things that we want to encourage people in going forward. And, you know, again, people, we ask you to be vigilant. We ask you to look out. When you see something strange, again, communicate with us and we will come. We will come.
All right. And, you know, before we close, of course, I must ask, learning that there was a shooting also on Saturday in the Mount Pleasant area. Yeah. Can you give us any insight on that before we close?
Well, the situation is we don't know the motive for it. But what we recognize is that an individual, a lone individual, went up and shoot at the direction of a particular home. A car was damaged. So the police have launched an investigation, and I believe very soon we will identify who the perpetrator is. So, you know, again, we have noticed even in this area, we have a heightened level of activities. And this is looking at our data, this is one of the areas that we are going to fully concentrate on as well. So I just want to urge the people of Mount Pleasant that police patrols would be passing through your area, covertly, overtly, as you will see. And, you know, we just want you, if there's any other information that you want to share with us, feel free to share it with us. If you don't want to talk to us personally, there's still 555, 800 tips. The system has been working, and I urge you to continue to use it. If not, you call 211, you want to get onto one of the nearest police stations, you can do that as well. So again, hats off to you, Tobago, and as we continue, and we look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Senior Soup. We're hoping, of course, to get more good news when you come again on this program to let us know what has happened, what is happening, how many persons have been apprehended, and what the situation is. Of course, we always like to hear when people are paying the price for, you know, the crime they committed. So we're hoping, you know, to get some more results when you come again to speak with us next week. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Senior Superintendent Rohdill Kirk as he brings the crime update for us, and also having conversations on situational awareness awareness and safety. So remember the tips that he gave this morning. You know, just be a little bit alert as to what is happening around you and take the necessary precautions to keep yourself and your environment safe. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations this morning in our studio. And before we go, of course, we invite you to help us share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.